Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Grace Regato Softball Complex on the Babe Ruth Complex, right in front of Breed Junior High.
Hey, make sure you announce number 6 when Pope John's not playing because she had a job and he's getting punished for it.
St. Mary's taking on Pope John in this Catholic Central League battle. I believe Pope John is in Catholic Central Small. They're 0-1. St. Mary's 3-1. Lily Newhall getting the start. I believe she's the niece of Jeff Newhall, who's the AD at St. Mary's. Paige Licata in charge of the Lady Spartans. It'll be Allie Collier, the second baseman, leading off for Pope John as we'll get underway. Bright blue skies, a little bit of a puff of a cloud way over behind the school. Other than that, it's clear blue skies, bright sunshine. The wind is still blowing around a little bit. It's still breezy, not as bad as it's been. When that breeze stops, it's actually nice and warm. It doesn't stop often enough. Collier's second baseman hitting from the left side against Newhall. 2 quick strikes. St. Mary's only lost. They went on the road to Gloucester and lost a tough game to Gloucester. High for a ball. They had a couple of chances in that Gloucester game, but couldn't come up with a big hit. Low for a ball. The count evens at 2. Line right to the shortstop. She went the other way with it. Sam Porozinski took one step to her right and picked it off. So Collie hit it well, but hit it right to the shortstop. 1 away for Shannon Collier, also hitting from the left side. I don't know if they're twins because they don't give us the year they're in. I don't know if they're both freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors. I have to assume they're sisters because it's not a name that you hear on any kind of a regular basis. Collier. Chopped foul behind home plate. And the count goes 2-1. Second game of the day, English was lost to Medford in the game before this. Off-speed pitch, Collier way out in front. Nice pitch by Newhall. Pope John had a problem right before the game started. The starting left fielder, McKenna Ridley, out in left field warming up. Fly ball hit her in the head, and she was replaced. We hope she's going to be okay. They only had 2 subs. Foul tip off the catcher, who was Jordan Sullivan. And the payoff pitch once again, up and coming. Hit right back to the mound. Nice play by Newhall. We mentioned she plays second base when she's not pitching. Made the nice play there. That might have been up the middle for a hit. She took it away. 2 away for Mackenzie Curtis, the catcher. Tried to hold up and couldn't. The pitch was up and away, but she was committed. Good pitch for a strike 0-2. Tried to take something off, and it floated high for a ball. Hit to the shortstop. So an easy inning for Lily Newhall and the Lady Spartans. Pope John goes down 1-2-3. And St. Mary's will get a chance to get on the board first. It'll be the center fielder, Christina Nowicki, leading off. Felicia D'Alessandro, the second baseman, will hit in the number 2 spot. Marina DiBiasio, the right fielder, hits third. The designated player, Talia Smaller, she's hitting for the pitcher, Newhall, hits in the cleanup spot. The shortstop, Sam Porozinski, hits number 5, hitting 6th and playing third base, Talia Smaller. Catching and batting 7th, Jordan Sullivan. Hitting the 8th spot is the third baseman, Alyssa Grossi, and the left fielder, Katie Newhall, will bring up the tail end of the batting order, batting 9th. Alana Rizzuti on the mound. For Pope John. Not a short trip, but not a long trip either. Just from here to Route 1, and from there, not a long drive to Pope John High School. Christina Nowicki will try to get it started for the Lady Spartans. We're playing catch-up here on TV 15. We were down with the school virus and the studio being at Breed. We were down for almost 3 weeks. So we still have basketball and hockey games, final games of the season, tournament games to catch up with, as well as baseball and softball. Nowicki hits it in the air to right field, drifting back over the right fielder's head. Nowicki is going to take off, bumps into the shortstop. She's going to keep going, and she's going to wind up with an inside the park home run. They had called obstruction on the shortstop, making contact with Nowicki. So one hitter, and St. Mary's grabs a 1-0 lead. And Felicia D'Alessandro gets hit by the pitch. So she's at first. For DiBiasio, The right fielder, very good hockey player. Fakes the bunt. The ball goes off the catcher. The wild pitch will put D'Alessandro at second base. St. Mary's getting out quickly. A run in. A runner at second with nobody out. Pope John's outfield is playing like it's Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, and Mickey Mantle. All three outfields are only about 8 to 10 steps away from the fence. Hit past third. Nice play by Paige Licata, the third base coach, and the head coach, as we mentioned, for St. Mary's. Swing and a miss. Taking off and going to third. The ball got thrown into the outfield, but she couldn't score because she slid into third. D'Alessandro took off and stole third. Normally you would think with the throw going the outfield she could score, but she slid in, she was down, so with no outs, no sense trying to score. Left fielder got to it quickly. Pop foul, backing out of play. Chase the pitch. It was down in the dirt. It gets away from the catcher, but they call it a foul tip. She got a piece of it. DiBiase realized it went by the catcher. Started to go to first base. The umpire said no, foul ball. Just got a little bit of a touch. Off-speed pitch inside. She was way out in front of it. Punched it towards the St. Mary's dugout. Nice pitch by Rizzuti. Off the catcher's glove. That's going to bring the run home. So D'Alessandro puts a run together. Got hit by a pitch, wild pitch, stolen base, wild pitch. 2 hitters, 2 runs for St. Mary's. Hit in the left field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Speed goes on for St. Mary's. Talia Smaller, the designated player, hitting for the pitcher Newhall. Taking off and stealing second easily is DiBiase. Down and in for a ball. Down and in again. Way up and in for ball 4. So 4 in a row have reached for St. Mary's. 2 of them have scored. Sam Porozinski, the shortstop, will be the hitter. Missing for a ball. Down and in for a ball. Missing again. In for a strike, as you would expect. Porozinski taking all the way with the count 3-0. And that's ball 4. Back-to-back walks. After the hit by DiBiasio, loads the bases. For Taylor Sullivan, the third baseman. And it brings a little conference on the mound for Pope John. Back to softball. 3 on, nobody out. Way inside for a ball. Rizzuti having a little trouble finding the strike zone. The last couple of hitters, and now the first pitch to Sullivan. Gets a piece and fouls it off. Chase the low pitch. And it's 1-1. It's at high in the air behind second base. Caught and dropped. I was waiting to see if they called the infield fly rule. They did. The runner can score. They run at their own risk. So the run scores. Sullivan pops up to the second baseman for the first out, gets an RBI. Even though the ball is just out a couple of steps in the outfield grass, it's still an infield fly. Able to be handled by an infielder easily. DiBiasio scored the run. Jordan Sullivan, the catcher, fouls it off. The runners didn't advance. Runner at second really couldn't go anywhere because the ball was right behind second base. And it looked initially like Collier made the catch, and then she just dropped it. Missing down and in. In for a strike. Hit to left field. Running catch by the left fielder. What a nice play. Danica Peralt made the great running catch, taking extra bases and RBIs away from Sullivan. She wasn't supposed to be out there. She was going to be the starting right fielder. The right fielder got injured before the game, so they had to move people around. Alyssa Grossi, coming off a trip to the state final in basketball. Hit slowly on the ground, foul as it skipped past third base. Low for a ball. Good off-speed pitch, catches Grossi looking on the inside corner. So it looked like it was going to be worse. They had 3 runs in, 2 on with nobody out, and that's all they get. So, but St. Mary's grabs 3. Lily Newhall will start her second inning of work with a cushion, as it's St. Mary's 3, Pope John nothing at the end of 1. Laying around, all that laying around doing nothing got you older. Zaria Jean-Pierre, the shortstop. She was warming up on the sideline before the game with the coach. She was throwing the ball very hard. She's the starting shortstop. Down and in for a ball, 2-0. 4, 5, and 6 for Pope John, who now has to play catch-up. And St. Mary's put 3 on the board to give Newhall a little bit of breathing room. She goes after the 3-0 pitch, fouls it off. That bounces for ball 4. First base runner is Jean-Pierre with the base on balls. And it brings up the pitcher, Rizzuti. So pitcher against pitcher here. Missing low, nice stop by Jordan Sullivan, the catcher. Low again, another nice stop by Sullivan. In for a strike. We're now in full swing on TV 15 with the studio back up and running and getting into softball and baseball. Off-speed pitch sails high. Rizzuti just held up, started the swing, held up. And we'll be going now right up until Memorial Weekend, when it will be the Holland tournament here at the Grace Regato Complex. In for a call, third strike. First strikeout for Newhall. It brings up Crasonia Tavares, the third baseman. Gets the bunt down. Sullivan makes the nice play and throws her out. Nice play by the catcher. She put the bunt down right at the plate and pretty good speed. Sullivan threw her out. She'll get credit for a sacrifice, although she was looking for a base hit. Jean-Pierre will move over to second base. Ali Vidic, the first baseman, is the hitter. Takes the pitch for a strike. Hit foul. Two quick strikes on the Popejohn first baseman. The umpire started to come up with that right hand. She took the pitch. The umpire started with the right hand and just stopped halfway up, called it a ball. Hit foul over the Popejohn dugout. Hit the second base. D'Alessandro. So the walk doesn't hurt. We'll move into the bottom of the second inning. It'll be 9-1-2 for the Lady Spartans. Katie O'Neill will lead it off, and it'll be back to the top of the order. Christina Nowicki and Felicia D'Alessandro. St. Mary's got out quickly and got 3. Popejohn has had one base runner, a walk, a leadoff walk in the second, stranded at second base. Hit foul off the backstop. O'Neill is the left fielder for the Lady Spartans. One of the gentlemen walking his dog. Just as he got to the St. Mary's dugout, the St. Mary's girls started there cheering and yelling, and the dog, with the noise, the dog started barking at the St. Mary's bench. They scared the dog as they started to yell. So 3 pitches inside. Hit in the left field for a base hit. So the leadoff hitter is on, and it brings up Christina Nowicki. She hit a fly ball over the right fielder's head and legged it all the way around for an inside the park home run. In for a strike. Way inside for a ball. Hit foul. Few fans here for this one. Outfield, around the fence, down the left and right field line. For an early game, this being, normally they play at 4 o'clock. St. Mary's sometimes plays at 3:30, but it's an early game because it's vacation week. Off the catcher, and that's going to move O'Neill down to second base. So this is a 1 o'clock start on a Wednesday afternoon. Other baseball games at 10 o'clock in the morning, and that hits Nowicki. Second hit batsman. The other hit batsman, D'Alessandro, scored. So we got first and second with nobody out for Felicia D'Alessandro. We mentioned she got hit by a pitch and scored a run, one of the three in the first inning. So St. Mary's threatening right away again. Hit in the air, in foul territory, off the first baseman's glove. Having a drift back reach over his shoulder. Good effort by Vidic. D'Alessandro gets a life. And again, the outfield for Pope John playing extremely deep. Push the bunt down the third base line. No play anywhere. D'Alessandro gets a base hit. Tavares was looking to throw the ball to third, but the shortstop wasn't there. So St. Mary's says the base is loaded with nobody out for DiBiasio, who singled and scored in the first inning. In for a strike. Perfect bunt by D'Alessandro. Tavares realized he had no chance to get her at first turn, thinking maybe at third, but nobody covering. And third hit batsman, and that's going to give DiBiasio an RBI. O'Neill will stroll in with the fourth run. Another meeting of the minds on the mound. Still nobody out. A run in, bases loaded. St. Mary's looking to put this one away early. Talia Small, the designated player, hitting for the pitcher. She drew a walk in the first inning. Off the catcher in the dirt, scores a run, the wild pitch. Nowicki comes scooting home with her second run. So it's second and third now with nobody out. High for a ball. She got hit by the pitch. Third hit batsman. And the bases are loaded again. Sam Porozinski drew a walk. In for a strike. Porozinski's the sixth hitter in the inning. Still nobody out. Goes to the backstop. The run scores. Samir's getting a lot of gifts in this inning. They only have one hit, 2 hits, but they scored 3 runs because they had 2 hit batsmen. Three hit batsmen in this inning. So 4 hit batsmen altogether. In for a strike. Down and in for a ball. One of the hits was the bunt by D'Alessandro. The ball goes to the backstop again. Now they get the runner at the plate. The ball hit the backstop. There's a wooden, like a panel at the bottom of the backstop. It hit that and bounced right back to the catcher, Curtis. She flipped it to Rizzuto, and they knocked DiBiaso down at the plate. So that's the first out. Smallman moved over to third. Swing and a miss. She chased the high fastball. Swung right through it for the second out. Taylor Sullivan popped up. It turned out to be an infield fly rule when the second baseman dropped the ball. Now she hits it just inside the third base bag. Makes the turn on her way to second. She's got a double and an RBI. Her second RBI. I mentioned there was a pop-up. The second baseman looked like she caught it and then dropped it. The runner from third scored. They called the infield fly rule, so Sullivan was out, but she got that one just inside the third base bag for a double and an RBI. Jordan Sullivan got a very big hit off the shortstop's glove and hand. The runner's going to score. Going all the way to third is Sullivan on the error. That's an error on the shortstop. Shortstop went back, had it in her glove, and dropped it. Five runs in the inning. Grossi is the 9th hitter in the inning. Pop back and out of play. We're going to pitch runner for Sullivan, the catcher. And that rule comes into play. You can run for the pitcher or catcher any number of times they get on base. No penalty to the runner, no penalty to the hitter. To the backstop, the runner doesn't go. Three hits, batsman. Two of them scored. All three of them scored. Two of them on wild pitch, the other one on the double by Sullivan. Up and away. And it's ball 4. So Grossi draws a walk. Hit up the middle for a base hit. Bobbled in the outfield. That's going to be another run. Katie O'Neill gets her second hit. She gets an RBI. Sullivan scored. Grossi went to third on the hit. Scored when it was bobbled in the outfield for the error. Seven runs in the inning for St. Mary's. 3 hit batsmen, 2 errors. They have 4 hits in the inning. They've scored 7 runs. Christina Nowicki up for the second time in the inning. She's the 11th hitter in for a strike. She hit it inside the park home run. And up for the first time in this inning, she got hit by a pitch and scored a run. So she's 1 for 1 with 2 runs scored and an RBI. We also remember that basketball team that went to the state final. Won the North, won the Eastern Mass, and came up short in the final, but had a great year. Lined in the left center field for a base hit. She gets an RBI. She's on base for the 3rd time. She's got a double. Second double in the inning. O'Neill scores her second run in this inning. Wiki takes off and steals third base. They faked the bunt, drew everybody in, left third base open. Nowicki said thank you and took third. Nice stop by the catcher, Curtis. This is D'Alessandro. She got hit by a pitch, scored, singled, and scored. She's up for the second time in this inning. The 12th hitter in the inning. Porozinski is the only hitter that hasn't scored in this inning. And O'Neill made up for that by scoring twice. That's going to be a base hit. Alessandro's on for the 3rd time with an RBI. Nowicki scores her 3rd run. And St. Mary's just laying the wood to Pope John here. Marina DiBiasio singled, hit by a pitch, scored a run. In for a strike. High for a ball. Nine runs in the inning. The number 1 hitter Nowicki and the number 9 hitter O'Neill have both scored twice in this inning. up foul back and out of play. Way up for a ball. Line foul. Paige Licata ducking away from that one, the third base coach. Solid shot, but DiBiasio got out in front of enough to pull it foul. St. Mary's just teeing off here. Getting hits, couple of errors, 3 hit batsmen. Swing and a miss. She chased a high pitch. So they finally get out of the inning. Not before St. Mary's sends 13 to the plate. Nine of them score. We played 2 innings. St. Mary's has 12, leading Pope Joan 12-0. We move into the third. It'll be 8-9-1 for Pope Joan. Gina Ingrandi, the right fielder, in for a strike. She was one of the 2 subs they had, but she was pressed into service when they had their left fielder got injured in pregame warm-up and had to go to the bench. Hit foul out of play. That one bounced the home plate. I got a refresher course in the rules today. I've been looking at, in the past, it's been only the starting players could come out of the game and re-enter. And I guess in the last year or 2, they changed it. So anybody that's in the game at any time, whether it's sub or whatever, they can leave the game and come back in. So I've been questioning what coaches have been doing, trying to keep score. Thinking that players couldn't come back in because they were substitutes and only the starters could re-enter. But I was told now that anybody at any time can leave the game and re-enter. So I think they changed it too, because it used to be the pitcher could re-enter, but he couldn't re-enter as a pitcher. If you took the pitcher out, the pitcher couldn't re-enter. He could re-enter, but he couldn't re-enter as a pitcher. And that was kind of silly. They changed that a while ago. So now they've changed it so that whenever they play, you can re-enter at any time, starter or sub, one time. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So 2 quick strikeouts to start the third inning for Lily Newhall. Allie Collier is the only one that really hit the ball well. She hit a line drive right at the shortstop. Leading off the ball game, going the other way. She hits it foul off the backstop. Porozinski had to take like a step or a half a step to make the play. That one bounces off Sullivan. Paige Licata was kind of blessed. She's got Lily Newhall, and she's got Pepe. Two pitchers. A lot of teams would like to have one. Angela Pepe is the other one. And they're both young. They're both around for another year or two. And in this game, you got to have somebody to throw strikes. Didn't miss by much. Off the outside corner low. Hit to third. Grassi over there at third base makes the play over to Taylor Sullivan. Second 1-2-3 inning. She had a 1-2-3 in the first. She's retired 9 out of 10. 6 in a row. As Pope-Tron goes down in the top of the third. Three strikeouts in 3 innings for Newhall. And we'll move into the bottom of the third. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 for St. Mary's. Looking for their 4th win. They're 3-1. We mentioned only lost to Northeastern Conference Gloucester at Gloucester. Rizzuti will start her 3rd inning of work. She's had trouble finding the strike zone. She's walked 3, but she's hit 4. So that's 7 freebies. Eight out of 9 players in the lineup for St. Mary's have scored. Nowicki has scored 3 times. O'Neill twice. As they put up an even dozen. Talia Small hasn't officially batted yet. She's been up twice. She scored a run. But she's walked and got hit by a pitch. So she hasn't batted officially. Hits it high in the air, deep. Left fielder going back. Can't make the play. Small is in with a double. Peralt made that great catch in the first inning off Sullivan. Had to go way back, reach over his shoulder, try to make that play. And for the 3rd straight inning, St. Mary's has the leadoff hitter on base. Way in tight for Porozinski, who's walked and struck out swinging. On the inside corner for a strike. Goes after that inside pitch and golfs it way foul. Had to step away to hit that one. And pulled it way foul. Hit it well and long, but very foul down the left side. Way inside for a ball. On the outside corner for strike three. Good pitch by Rizzuti. Four strikeouts for Rizzuti. Taylor Sullivan. An infield fly that was caught and then dropped, and now a solid shot into left field. They throw the ball home, and that allows Taylor Sullivan to get to second base. She's got her third RBI. Smaller scores her second run. The beat goes on for the Lady Spartans. I mentioned Sullivan. She got that infield pop-up that was caught and then dropped. It was an infield fly rule call, so she was out, but she got an RBI. So it's really like a sacrifice fly. Jordan Sullivan, way out in front of that one, hit it solid but pulled it well foul. She has flied to left, a great catch by Peralt, taking extra bases away, and a couple of RBI. Last time up, she reached on an error and scored. So Sullivan, after that RBI pop-up, she gets an RBI double and now an RBI single. And she scored a run. Missed inside. St. Mary's batted 8 in the first. They batted 13 in the second. And now 2 of the first 3 get on base here. And they get another run to make it a Baker's dozen 13. Down and in for a ball. Hit in the air, that's going to pull foul as well. Again, the outfield for Pope John. They're almost playing behind me on the baseball diamond. They're so deep out in the outfield. St. Mary's almost has to hit it over the fence to get over their heads. Now the coaches are screaming for them to come back in the ballpark. And they missed for ball 4. Sullivan's on for the second time. And we'll get a pinch runner again for her, being the catcher. Osagrashi struck out, walked and scored. In for a strike. Hit foul. I think it's Mia Niccolo running for Sullivan. And it was Niccolo who scored the run. And another hit batsman. I don't remember seeing this many hit batsmen in the game. That's number 5. And for the third inning in a row, St. Mary's has the bases loaded. Katie O'Neill is perfect. 2 singles, 2 runs scored, and RBI. She goes after the pitch, up and in, and fouls it off, out of play. Off-speed pitch, beauty for Rizzuti. Dropped in. Off the catcher's glove, nobody going anywhere. I forgot to mention the assistant coach for Paige Licata, Afton Dean. You hear her voice on TV quite a bit. She does commentary on some basketball games as it's punch foul. She is the video instructor at Link Classical High School. She teaches the kids who work behind the camera. Her kids are on the camera now for this game. And she announces some of the games. Hit the shot. Safe at the plate, they threw it away. So that's an error on the shortstop throw. She shot hopped it to the catcher. Taylor Sullivan scores. The bases are still loaded. O'Neill is on for the 3rd time. Still only 1 out. Christina Nowicki has perfect. Hit inside the park home run, got hit by a pitch, doubled. She scored 3 and knocked in 2. Way up and in for a ball. In for a strike. Hit to the third base coach, Paige Licata. Didn't make that play. She knocked it down, didn't field it cleanly. She's done a very nice job with this team since taking over. Solid shot over the head of the left fielder. Runners had a hole to see if it would be caught, but went over the left fielder's head. Nowicki's got her 2nd double. She had 2 more RBI, giving her 4. Hit off the shortstop. Thrown away at first. Alessandro will reach on the error. O'Neill scores her 3rd run. Nowicki's on the verge of scoring her 4th run. Two more errors in the inning. St. Mary's is batted around again. DiBiase will be the 9th hitter. Singled and scored, got hit by a pitch for an RBI. Last time up, she struck out swinging. Still only 1 out. 3 in the first, 9 in the second, 5 here in the third. St. Mary's has 2 touchdowns, an extra point, and a field goal. DiBiaso lines it in the left center field for a base hit. They hold the runner at third. She could have scored. Nowicki scores their 4th run. DiBiasio gets her 2nd RBI. And Talia Smaller, who started the inning with a double and scored, is up at bat. So the only inning they didn't bat around was the first, but they batted 8. O'Neill was the only one that didn't hit in the first inning. Popped up. That's going to drop because the outfield is playing out in no man's land. Mall's got her 2nd hit in the inning and an RBI. Sam Porozinski, she's the only one in lineup that hasn't scored. She's walked, she struck out twice. Hits it in the air to center field. Over the center fielder's head. St. Mary's now going station to station. Porozinski gets a base hit. She gets an RBI. Taylor Sullivan is up for the 2nd time. She's got RBIs in all 3 of her at-bats. She pops it up. Shortstop has it and drops it. But it's an infield fly. That would have been the 3rd error in the inning. But it's an automatic out. Runners at 1st and 2nd. Jordan Sullivan flied to left, reached center and scored, walked and scored. Actually, both times she scored, it was Niccolo running for her. Line shot, pull foul. Solidly hit by Sullivan, but got out in front just enough to pull it foul. Way inside for a ball. So obviously this is going to be a mercy rule. It'll only go 5 innings, 4.5 actually. But even that's going to feel like a month. St. Mary's scored 17 runs in the 2nd and 3rd innings after getting 3 in the first. They put 20 on the board. Pull foul again. This is both the 2nd and the 3rd. They've sent 13 hitters to the plate. Hit the 2nd base. They make the play for the 3rd out. Or, excuse me, the 2nd out. It was the 3rd out. I thought it was right the first time, but they look like they're going to stay on the diamond. So the 2nd time they've sent 13 hitters to the plate. Last time they did it, they scored 9. This time they scored 8. And they've got an even 20. In St. Mary's 20, Pope John, nothing as we move into the top of the fourth. We'll start the fourth inning, and St. Mary's has changed their outfield. The other half of the DiBiase family, Mia, is out in left field. Katie Donovan is in center field, and Mia Niccolo is in right field. And they punted foul. Either went off the foot of the shin guard of Sullivan, the catcher. Shannon Collier up for the second time. She bounced to the pitcher. Louis Newhall starting her fourth inning of work. They tried a bunt and they fouled off again. Both Colliers bat 1-2. They both bat left-hand. They both try to bunt the ball. One's the second baseman. This Collier is the center fielder. Strike three call. Good pitch by Newhall. Catcher to looking. So St. Mary's has 3 touchdowns. They missed an extra point on one of them. 3 touchdowns and 2 extra points. In for a strike. Mackenzie Curtis popped to the shortstop. Hit a little soft touch to Porozinski. Hit to third. Very quickly making the play, Grossi. No wasted effort. Two up, 2 down in the fourth. Zaria Jean-Pierre, the shortstop, is the only person to reach base against Newhall. She drew a leadoff walk in the second. Made it as far as second base and got stranded there. Up and away for a ball. Errors, hit batsmen, wild pitches. A little bit of everything. St. Mary's just chipped in with 14 base hits. In for a strike. High for a ball. In for a strike. And we got Deuces Wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the top of the fourth. Chased that pitch. It was down around ankle high. Fouled it toward the Pope John dugout. We'll do it again at 2-2. Hit in the outfield for a base hit. And she moves in with a double. First hit off Newhall. And Jean-Pierre is the only base runner. She drew a walk. Now she's got a double. So both times she's made it as far as second base. Last time she got stranded. Alana Rizzuti, the pitcher, was called out on strikes. In for a strike. Low for a ball. 2-1 the count. Swing and a miss. And again, we got deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hit in the air. Shortstop Borozinski. Couple of steps on the outfield grass makes the play. So again, they leave a runner at second, but they get their first base hit. And for all intents and purposes, Pope John is down to the last 3 outs, even though it's only the 4th inning, because we're not going to go more than 5. St. Mary's is going to hit in the 4th. It'll be 8, 9, and 1. So Newhall has given up a hit and a walk, both to Zaria Jean-Pierre, the shortstop. And St. Mary's just been teeing off since the bottom of the 1st inning, since Nowicki led it off with an inside the park home run. And it was downhill after that for Pope John. We mentioned there Catholic Central small, so really taking a step up to play St. Mary's, who is generally right at the top. If they're not at the top of the league, Catholic Central Lodge, they're right there, first or second, battling for a league championship almost every year. It's been Austin Prep the last couple of years with McDonald, their ace pitcher, who graduated, and everybody said breathed a sigh of relief when she graduated because she was dominating in the league. And Arlington Catholic for a while. But St. Mary's was always right there, because they always had good pitching. Christina Nowicki's sister, who's now doing very well pitching in college, was as dominant for St. Mary's as McDonald was for Austin Prep, maybe even more so. Both are now doing well in college. Alyssa Grossi struck out, walked and scored, got hit by a pitch and scored. She's one of 5 hit batsmen. Dropped by the left fielder. Grossi reaches on the error. Five errors for Pope John. This is the other half of the DiBiaso family. Mia. Chopped foul towards first base. Five hits batsmen, 4 of them have scored. 4 walks, 2 of them have scored. So 7 of the runs were either a walk or a hit batsman. Throw in 5 errors, and you wind up with a mercy rule game. Hit to the first base and looked like she was going to drop it. She had it in her glove. It popped out and she grabbed it with her bare hand. So Vidic makes the play. Katie Donovan will be the hitter. She went in for Nowicki in center field. Chased that high pitch way over her head. Hit foul off the backstop. These are the kind of games that coaches really don't like to play. You don't really get anything out of it. No. Off-speed pitch way out in front. Nice pitch by Rizzuti. She's used that off-speed pitch a couple of times. She's got 5 strikeouts. She's got at least 1 in every inning. Alessandro hit by pitch, scored, singled in a run, reached on error, scored. She's been on base 4 times. They throw it away at first base. She's on again. Looked like Tavares made a great play. She went to her left, fielded it nicely, and then threw it in the dirt, threw it by the first baseman. So it extends the inning. And this is Niccolo up. Popped up and back at second base. Is going to drop for a base hit. She went into run for Sullivan a couple of times and scored 2 runs, and now she gets an RBI hitting for herself. Now they got their 3 touchdowns with 3 extra points. Smaller is perfect. Walked, hit by pitch, scored, doubled, scored, singled, in a run. So she's 2 for 2. She scored 2 and knocked in a run. Popped up right at the second base bag, making the play is Collier for the 3rd out. Let's see, Marys gets another one. They got 1 base hit. There were 2 errors in the inning that helped. So this is it. 3 outs. St. Mary's will get their 4th win. They only need 3 outs as they're shutting out Pope John. St. Mary's put up 21 big points and 3 outs away from making it 4-1 for the season. St. Mary's leading by a huge score going into the top of the 5th. Six, 7, and 8 for Pope John. Louis Newhall 3 outs away from a 1-hit shutout. 2 base runners, a walk and a double by the shortstop, Zaria Jean-Pierre, are the only 2 base runners that Newhall has given up. She retired the first 3, gave up a walk. Retired 8 in a row, gave up the double. Now she's hoping to end it, retiring 4 in a row. Getting out of here with a win, which is no question about that. But let's get out of it quickly, get 3 quick outs. Crasonia Tavares, the third baseman, fouls the first pitch off. She got credit for a sacrifice. She tried a bunt for a hit with 1 out, and Jean-Pierre had drawn that walk. And the catcher, Jordan Sullivan, made a very nice play, coming out in front of the play, fielding it, and throwing her out. On the corner for a strike. Good pitch by Newhall. High for a ball. Bounced that one for a ball. High for a ball, so she had her 0-2. Now she's got to come in with a pitch or put her on. Hit foul, out of play. Hit foul again. And we're running out of softballs. Nobody went to chase those 2 foul balls. So we'll do it again at 3-2. And that's ball 4. Second time in the ball game they've got a leadoff walk. Only their third base runner. Allie Vidic, the first baseman, grounded out second to first. Up and away for a ball. Turned out to be a nice day. Not a cloud in the sky. The wind has died down. Actually warmed up a little bit. Good fastball for a strike. That was right down the heart of the plate. High and tight for a ball. A little chin music with that pitch. Strike 3 called. A little delay, but he called it. Fourth strikeout. For Newhall, the first inning was the only inning she didn't get a strikeout. She did get a 1-2-3 inning. And that fourth inning that St. Mary scored the 1 run, that was the only inning that Rizzuti didn't hit a batter. She hit 3 of them in the second inning. The ball went into the dirt for a wild pitch. A little delayed run by Tavares, but she gets to second base. So all 3 base runners that have reached 2 walks and a double have reached second base. But that's as far as they could get. Chopped that one into the Pope John dugout. Popped up. Taylor Sullivan with the play. And Pope John is down to their last out. Gina Ingrandi. Danica Peralt will be the hitter. That was Ingrandi who popped up. Chased a high pitch and swung right through it. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and that'll do it. St. Mary's going to go to 4-1 as they mercy rule Pope John. Newhall strikes out 5, walks 2, gives up 1 base hit. Both walks and the double got to second base, and that's all they could manage. St. Mary's got all they needed. The first hitter, Christina Nowicki, hit an inside the park home run, and they didn't need any more. They got 3 in the first, 9 in the second, 8 in the third. They had another run in the fourth. They wound up with 3 touchdowns and 3 extra points, and everybody chipping in. Nowicki scored 4 times with a 2 RBI. D'Alessandro was on base 5 times, scored 2, knocked in a run. Marina DiBiaso had a single, a hit batsman, a double. She scored 2, knocked in a run. Niccolo, who previously ran for Jordan Sullivan and scored twice, went in to play right field, and she got up at bat, got a base hit, and knocked in a run. Talia Smaller was on base 4 times, 2 hits, a hit batsman and a walk. Scored 2, knocked in a run. Porozinski had a walk and an RBI single. Taylor Sullivan had, it turned out to be a sacrifice pop-up infield fly. She had 3 RBI, doubled, singled, scored 2. Jordan Sullivan was on base twice, a walk and an error. Niccolo running for her scored twice. Alyssa Grossi drew a walk, got hit by a pitch, reached on an error, scored 3 runs. Katie O'Neill had 2 hits, reached on an error, scored 3 and knocked in a run. And Lily Newhall did it all on the mound, giving up only 1 hit, walking 2, and stranding all 3 runners at second base. And St. Mary's, just everybody chipping in, getting hits. There were 5 hit batsmen. There were 5 walks, 6 errors, and all combined to put 21 points, 21 runs on the board. And St. Mary's wins it 21-0 in a walk-off win in only 5 innings. St. Mary's will go to 4-1. Pope John will drop to 0-2. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm Don Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.